Hello, I am Professor Zahoor, ex-Dean Faculty of Fine Arts, Jamia Millia Islamia University, New Delhi. I am going to give a demonstration on how to use sponge and watercolors. Today's demonstration will be needing brushes, colors and a sponge. We can use sponge in lifting the color, spreading the color. Another thing one can use to lift the color is tissue paper. These three things are crucial in today's demonstration. There is a small piece of sponge too, which one can use to bring out highlights in a painting. So let's start and just let it go. Don't copy things. Just spread the colors and water and then play with brush, sponge and tissue paper. But one thing one need to keep in mind is that the composing should be done in brain. It's like cooking. Composition should be good and one needs to keep the colors fresh. As the composition progresses, one will realize all this and how to balance other colors also. Spread water over the sheet with a piece of sponge and brush. It will help in facilitating the use of watercolors. The colors will spread more easily and find their own way as they spread their route. To be experimental and start the painting, add a few touches of brown mixed with water on the wet surface, indicating the formation of the clouds. If one keeps the board vertically, the colors being thin will float downwards. But as in this experiment of sponge, we need color not dried up, but laying on the surface to create effects. It's better to make the board lie down horizontally. Keep on applying the thin strokes of color across the surface. Don't restrain. Let it be free as one needs to explore numerous possibilities. After playing the color, start experimenting with the sponge. Dab it to spread the color for textural approach, to absorb extra water, and even to make certain dark tones subtle. Like Janice K. Shafire says, 90% of my creative process takes place right on the paper, making the original subject only a starting place for the finished painting. Applying the colors is not only a job of concentration but also of enjoyment at a deeper level of spirits, which is very sensual and addictive. Each stroke leaves its impression, which can be molded in any desired way by the artist. A stroke can lead an artist to his own imaginary world and turn him into a visionary. J.P. Hugestone says, "For me, painting is like a story which stimulates the imaginations and draws the mind into a place filled with expectation, excitement, wonder, and pleasure." Start adding a dark tone to the painting. Over the wet surface of a lighter tone, the darker value will spread its wings and contribute in creating another textural and accidental dimension to the brush strokes. The application of tones, the applications, the application of tones, colors, and variation of values all depends on the inner visual statements, ideologies, thoughts, concepts, ideas, presumptions, observations, and the mood of the artist. The whole essence comes down to the simplest form of playfulness and possibilities. One can dab the color, add more water, let the color take its own turn, lift the excessive water or color with sponge or tissue paper, and deliberately create the desired effect, or let the painting form on its own by experimentation. Paul Klee said, in the final analysis, a drawing simply is no longer a drawing, no matter how self-sufficient its execution may be. It is a symbol, and the more profoundly the imaginary lines of projection meet higher dimensions, the better. Add another color, blue, to the painting. It becomes a combination of warm and cool colors and also breaks the monotony of the brown color. play with the light and the dark colors. One can leave a little area untouched and peep through the overtones. Leave the strokes alone and let them form their own visual language. Being too meticulous and deliberate with the application of brush strokes can break the magic of visual flow, and the painting can lose its charm and playful character. With practice and knowledge, an artist articulates his idea by the blend of his physical and intellectual levels and tries to look at a simple thing in his unusual perception. Vic Muniz says, drawing is not only a way to come up with pictures, drawing is a way to educate your eye to understand visual information, organizing it into a more hierarchical way, a more economical way. When you see something, if you draw often and frequently, you examine a room very differently. Gradually and with patience, one needs to apply color tones side by side so that each tone has its own effect in the painting. The tones blend with each other yet stand out. Layer by layers of tonal variations create multiple layers and gaps of mystery, space, and depth. Each stroke has its individual placement and is still merging gracefully into another tone. The gaps of white are creating uniformity and connecting the different portions together. The clouds are something with which an artist can be as experimental and as playful as he wants, as there is no particular shape of it. Each stroke can add a bunch of the clouds, mixing the tones with each other or letting them be on their own, all add to the magical and mysterious characteristic of the cloud. Dabbing the surface full of wet color with tissue paper subdues the area, diffuse the bright tone of blue, and totally changes the previous effects. Chuck Jones said, the whole essence of good drawing and of good thinking, perhaps, is to work a subject down to the simplest form possible and still have it believable for what it is meant to be. There should be complete mental freedom at least, even if an artist wants to be confined to certain limits of medium. He should get rid of his apprehensions and explore his capabilities with colors, textures, lines, and various mediums, and break free from the conventional mindset. Then only will he be able to give birth to a painting of his own mind. While experimenting with multiple layers of colors and dabbings, one need to keep in mind the durability and quality of the surface on which the painting is being done. Otherwise, all the efforts will go down the drain. One can see the beauty in the abstraction and how softly the patches of colors are getting connected to each other and forming their own poetical rhythm, just like a metaphor. One works is one works in passionate indifference, subconscious mind gets very active and an artist is transported to another world of imagination. Where his mind races faster than the image, which is developing gradually over the multiple impressions of tonal variations, depths, textures, blends, diffusions and highlights, clarity and ambiguity of forms, accidental flows and deliberate strokes. Ian Thom aptly said, "A painting has the power to condense 50 impressions into one image." And this is so right, as one can clearly sees that an artist goes through a performance where he dances to the strokes and step of his ability, experience, and imagination. Finally, the painting is the result of all these put together. The interplay of dark tones and the light tones, weaving of silhouettes and object cropping up from the ambiguity, all contribute to the beauty and building up of a painting. Darkness here and lightness there adds to the visual flow. The tonal variations in the underlayers and the overcoats bring a distinct perspective and depth to the painting. The vision travels through the layers and can guess the density of the clouds. After placing the colors, the sponge can again help the artist to lift the excessive color absorb extra water, and even give a soft blend to two different colors. One can again bring the painting to the previous stage by applying the colors again with the help of brush. This process of construction, destruction, and reconstruction only triggers the spirits of an art. His vision helps him see the space from where he started to where he was finally reached. David Urban beautifully explained this procedure in his words. One of the things about painting is that you can look backwards as readily as you can look forwards. There is openness to it, an intangible quality that defies summarization. The addition of green to the tones of cobalt blue and raw umber moves the painting forward towards another stage. It can imply the foliage taking the foreground of the painting. The tones of green, the tones of green added with burnt umber will bring it close to the foreground, and diluting it with water will add distance to it. It will add more freshness to the base, which has a beautiful blend of blues and browns. Look so compatible to each other and not disturbing the vision at all. Stella Revive Art says, unlike in music, we painters have the freedom to layer over the sore notes or crop off the discord. And that what the sponging can help an artist with. He can apply the layers of colors and again rub them off to create harmony and perfect blend. Remove the patches he does not feel fit the painting and subtly creates an impression soothing to the eye. Applying more tones of darker green and brown again develops another layer. This incessant reworking tells one how an artist works in patience, where he makes the original motif come up through the strokes and again let it vanish completely with the taps of a sponge. One can enjoy the subtle, natural blending of green and brown, intermingling and spreading their roots beautifully. The patch of greenery in the foreground is highlighting the vastness of the sky. Use tissue paper and sponge again to dab the extra water and color in particular area for desired effects. One can merge the stark contrast or sharp line for by rubbing off the colors with sponge. The texture of the sponge can also leave its marks on the surface. Again use brush to add dark color to create depth in horizontal line. Add another color burnt sienna and put slight touches over the greenery. More charm is added to the composition. Rubbing off with a sponge and again start the play of lines with brush. This procedure is never ending till an artist gets satisfied with the outcome of pouring out his spirit and feelings. Henry Matisse perfectly explained the mindset of an artist in his words. I want to reach the condensation of sensation which constitutes a picture. Perhaps I might be satisfied momentarily with a work finished at one sitting, but I would soon get bored looking at it. Therefore, I prefer to continue working on it so that later I may recognize it as a work of my mind. After the completion of the work, it's time to remove the sellotapes, which was acting like a mask to create an even border around the painting. The white even frame enhances the artwork and directs the vision inward towards the painting. One can again add a few touches to the painting wherever needed without disturbing the frame. A few touches of blue close to the edge of the foliage will help in creating more distance in the painting and bring it close to its finishing.